What's up, guys? This is Lucky, and in honor of Transformers coming out, we're gonna do a little Michael Bay bashing. And I know it's been done to death. It's too easy. I mean, it's like, you know, beating up a small child, or trashing England in the World Cup, or schooling Christmas noobs, or kicking a wet puppy dog. But at the same time, we're gonna do it. And first though, this is multiplayer from Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Game came out a few years ago, and the campaign mode in this is more brilliant than anything Michael Bay has put out in ever. Okay, the first mission has more story than anything Michael Bay has put out his entire life. This is like real Transformers fans' dream. It's like a prequel to the G1 cartoons. It was really good. You still have PS3 or Xbox 360, pick it up, man. It's a fun game. This is my loadout. Basically, this is a soldier class running a pulse cannon, riot cannon, and I've got a diffraction barrier, which is like a temporary shield that you can use up as a special ability. You can customize your own Transformers. In the multiplayer, it's really cool. They've got 4 different classes. They've got like a scout class, which is more like your fast Bumblebee class. This class, soldier class. Titan class, like a Megatron class. And then a scientist class, which is where all your planes are and you can fly. Extremely fast-paced game, and it's so much fun. I got it out not too long ago and played it for like a weekend and had a blast. This is one of my better matches, so this is what we're going to talk about while we talk about Michael Bay destroying our childhood. Michael Bay, motherfucker, you have destroyed so many people's childhood. But the Transformers movies, we all know. Love them or hate them, you've probably seen them. And yeah, some are good, some are better than others. But it's just gotten crazy. So the nostalgia, the kid in me, kind of like was thinking maybe I want to go see this. So I made the mistake today of going online and reading some reviews, and man, it is Michael Bay Bash Fest. And so that's what I'm gonna bring to you, the best and the best of the Michael Bay bashing that I found online from critics, narrated by yours truly, Lucky. Sooner or later, guys, we have to put an end to this. Okay, here goes. From Peter Hartlaub of the San Francisco Gate. We saved the worst news for last. The new Transformers is a completely unnecessary and soul-crushing 165 minutes long, bloated by exposition and plot turns that sound as if it were being made up as the movie was shot. That's one of the kinder ones. Badass Digest writes, sitting through Transformers Age of Extinction is like binge-watching the death of a human spirit. It is a crushing and relentless experience. One where even the comedic relief bits are nihilistically hateful. In between these cruel and unfunny segments are boring and repetitive action scenes. Sequences that feel unmoored from space-time itself. The whole movie is basically a giant fucking disaster, and it's about 2.5 hours long to boot. Few movies will ever be as bad as Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, but Age of Extinction gives that incoherent load of shit a run for its money. One thing is certain, with Age of Extinction, the Transformers franchise has fully staked its claim to being the absolute worst series in cinematic history. Chicago Tribune, Christopher Borelli writes, Transformers Age of Extinction is an aggressively charmless act of digital confetti. It is scattered, weightless, impossible to get a hold of, and somehow, after 7 years and more than 10 hours of screen time, I could not tell you what these films are about. Explosions, Real estate? Oh my, Michael Bay. Oh my. Richard Corliss of Time magazine writes, as everything is meant to race towards the conclusion, Bay clutters the scene with some egregious product placement for Bud Light, Tom Ford, Samsung, Pagani Huayra, the Golden Palace Hotel. The final half hour devolves into a kind of abstract expressionist chaos with commercials. Nothing coheres. Movies usually try to come together at the end. This one falls apart. If that's Bay intention, then cinema has finally entered its age of extinction. Bay at his worst is like an attention... Bay at his worst is like an attention deficient kid banging his toy bots together in the basement rec room. You wonder what enormity he would have hatched with another Hasbro franchise, Mr. Potato Head. Ladies and gentlemen, at some point, we've got to stop going to these movies. It's the only way to get another director. Please, don't go. Resist the urge. I am radically opposed to piracy. Me, the pirate. I don't believe. I mean, movies, music, don't steal it. People deserve to be paid for their artistic endeavors. I mean, that's what keeps it going. But this isn't art. This is fucking garbage. It's just... I don't know. Just don't go. I'm not endorsing piracy. I'm just saying that if you were going to, and you had to, Michael Bay deserves it. Oh, alrighty. Here we go. Joe Moroshi of About.com. It would be one thing if Transformers 4 were just a Michael Bay movie. He's a specialist in glossy nonsense meant as low entertainment. So we shouldn't expect much different. But even by the standards of his career, this is a new low. Bloated in 165 minutes and incredibly lazy, Bay can't even bother to make his transitions between scenes make any kind of sense, geographically or in terms of time. At one point, our heroes are in daylight. Bad guys then roll down the road at dusk and then arrive at our hero's location in full daylight. I could discuss how idiotic Ethan Kruger's script is at greater length. At one point, trying to get an alien mega weapon out of Hong Kong before it explodes, Optimus asks Wahlberg's crew to drive it out of the city, despite having 3 robots who can fly on his team. But then again, unlike Bay, I know that greater length doesn't actually mean greater quality. In fact, that's the ugly truth behind all the Transformers films. To be overwhelmed is not the same thing as to be overjoyed. It would be one thing if Transformers 4 were just dumb and bad. But it's so loaded with product placement. For beer, for soda, for lingerie, for other Hasbro properties, that the reek of cynicism wafting off of it makes you recoil. The effects are shockingly bad. Blurry, too crisp against the live background, weightless and airless, and the 3D is really only there for what I call a prophylactic purpose. To keep the plasticky, fast-moving CGI world inside the film from looking awful, not to make anything in particular look good. And... oh. This movie's backed by the China Movie Channel. So when Optimus and Wahlberg talk heart to spark about the film's fake Transformers having souls and rights, it's worth noting that they're doing so in a movie partially funded by a totalitarian government that doesn't think that real-world humans actually do. Fueled by nostalgia, corporate profiteering, and a beer commercial aesthetic mixed with hypocritical values, Transformers Age of Extinction isn't a bad movie. It's the worst possible product of a big Hollywood system drunk on a cocktail of fermented nostalgia and rancid profiteering while driving movie-going into the ground. Whew. Frank Sweetik of One Guy's Opinion writes, An elephantine stinker that's the very addition of sound and fury that signifies nothing. Chris Hewitt of Twin Cities Pioneer Press writes, of all the reactions I could have anticipated to the non-stop mayhem of Transformers Age of Extinction, shock, horror, grief, I never would have expected my actual reaction. Boredom. At 2 hours and 45 minutes, Age is numbing, not just to your butt. Lacking even a single believable human character, it's basically a movie about one set of special effects hardware trying to blow the brains out of another set of special effects hardware. And since the movie doesn't make us care about any of them, or the vast wreckage they leave in their wake, viewing Age is akin to watching your Cuisinart try to smash your toaster to bits. My lord, ladies and gentlemen. My lord. This is what my beloved franchise has come to. And last, I'll leave you with this. Star Tribune, Colin Colbert. The usual quota of star rating points is insufficient for Transformers Age of Extinction. It is a jolting, seizure-inducing, stamina-testing physical experience that should be scored on the Richter scale or in terms of megatons. Michael Bay outdoes himself here, creating the biggest, bloatiest, Michael Bayest film ever. There is scarcely a moment in this 165 minutes that does not involve frenzied screaming, smashing, or shooting. Correction, as we are in Bay country, there's also scenes of sexy jailbait, appalling dialogue, product placement, and tasteless racial stereotyping among the metallic mayhem. Whew, my god. The film has no more of a plot than a string of firecrackers. But oh, the explosions. Guys. Guys, I don't know what to say. I would love more than anyone to have a good Transformers film. But this is not it. This is not it. This is Lucky, signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed this match. Peace.
Win the match.
Yeah, I'm waving.
You got fucking cheated.